What's up, guys? Here we are, round one with blue black Faeries. That's gonna be rough. I can already tell I'm gonna mess that up. We are on the play with 5 lands, a Thoughtseize, and a Click. A little land heavy, but this is perfectly fine. I think we turn one. I don't know. It's rough because you can't turn one Thoughtseize and then attack with a Mutavault on turn 2. But if we're attacking with Mutavault on turn 2, we're not playing Thoughtseize on turn 1 anyways. So I think we just want to go with this Thoughtseize. We could just play the Tar Pit, but with this kind of hand, stealing like a Goblin Guide or a Birds of Paradise is really important. So I think we need to Thoughtseize turn 1. We could always fetch Swamp and then play Creeping Tar Pit, and that'll let us play Watery Grave and Vendilion Click on turn 3. But it's the same either way. We could just shock, because we're going to have to shock the Watery Grave on turn 3. We could just shock the Watery Grave now, play Tar Pit, and then Polluted Delta to go get Island. I think that's better. Sakura Tri-Builder and Search for Tomorrow. And then just lands. Forest, Mountain, Swamp, Water Grave. Jeez. Maybe he's playing Bring to Light. Which one's better? Imagine the Sakura Tri-Builder? I don't think I've ever... Maybe it's easy. I mean, they both do the same thing. Maybe Search for Tomorrow was better. He could suspend it on turn 1. Yeah, I think, and then he gets to use the land that turn. I think Search for Tomorrow is actually better. I could be wrong. My life total isn't super important. So we'll just click I don't know, maybe like turn 5 or something. This is interesting. Alright, so he's got nothing but lands. We can just play a Ghost Quarter next turn. Hit him for 4. I mean, if he's casting a gigantic spell, we're not going to be able to get it with Spellstutter Sprite. He's had 1 draw since we took his Remand. I think we can hit him this turn. Hit him for 4, and then next turn we can hold up, we can't really hold up Click plus Sprite because our Creeping Tar Pit isn't on the field, so we don't have our 3rd blue. But we can fetch Island here. Animate both Mutavaults, hit him for 4. He'll have access to 5 mana next turn. But I think that's fine. Like, what's the worst he could do? Like, Bring to Light for a Thragtusk or something? I don't know. I'm sure there's something worse he could do. This might be wrong. I might just need to hold up Spellstutter Sprite all the time, but I don't know. I kind of just want to capitalize on the fact that he's got a bunch of lands in hand. I should have paid attention to the lands he had when I Inquisitioned, but normally you can just leave that leave that up to your opponent. Once I've seen his hand, he'll make a point to play the lands that I've already seen, so I don't really need to worry about it. Sure. Alright, so he's got lightning bolt and lands. So we'll stop after his draw. He didn't even attack, which is interesting.
I'm just gonna take them,
okay? Okay. Alright, so we took an Anger of the Gods. Sure. So he's got Search for Tomorrow and then just 2 lands. Looks like he's 4 color. So he can bring to light for Scape Shift, but no like 5 drops or anything. Playing the Ghost Quarter means I have an extra land to Mutavault for a 3rd fairy. So I can counter like another Anger of the Gods or something. I could always just play Tar Pit, animate, and swing with the Mutavault and just hit him for 5. Holding up Remand should be good enough, since we know he has lands in hand. So our opponent's at 9. If he does nothing, we could just like flash this guy in. So he brings to light. I can let this resolve. He goes and gets Scape Shift and casts Scape Shift. If I remand it, he gets the Scape Shift back to his hand. But he also just gets the Bring to Light back to his hand. I think I want to remand the Scape Shift because I want to. Maybe if I draw another fairy, I'll be able to animate Mutavault and Spellstutter Sprite that thing. Looks like I'm going to be putting him to 1. It's a good draw. That's good too. He has a counterspell though. I think it's better to hold up Cryptic Command Spellstutter Sprite for 2 on like a Remand or something than try and like misbind click him in his upkeep. Well, I guess Spellstutter Sprite counters the Remand that way anyways. And this kills him next turn. This puts him to 6. I mean, he's dead next turn regardless. Yeah, I think we're doing this. Should be good enough. This is fun. Tap all your lands. First time I've ever cast this card. Yeah, that feels good. That feels pretty good. I imagine this is game. Alright, game one. So moving to the sideboard. We're playing against 4-color Scape Shift. Counter Squall seems pretty good. Duress seems great. Dispel seems good. Nah. Not so sure about the safe filling. Guess we can trim removal. He has access to Brain Delight, which means he can play some craziness. But I don't think Disfigure is where we want to be. The mana leaks are still great in this matchup because his whole plan is get to 7 mana and cast Scape Shift with Counterspell backup, so mana leak is rarely dead. Gain 3 life, return up to 1 target creature card. Yeah, neither of those are relevant in this matchup. Eighth Link costs 6 mana. I'm not interested in that. That's just gonna get me killed. Maybe I do just take a keep a Slaughter Pact. Hope I don't draw it. There's really nothing else for me here. Yeah, we'll just play it like this, and our 8 discard spells should do a lot of work in this matchup. Alright, on the draw, 3 discard spells, a mana leak, and some lands. This hand's great. We'll just rip apart whatever he's planning on doing. He can still just like top deck lands and craziness, but this is where we want to be. Inquisition. He's got a Tri-Belter, a Lightning Bolt, and a Gate. 2 red lands that don't help him cast that Cryptic command. I'm definitely taking the Tri-Belter. Mutavolt's pretty good. I think I want to try and mana leak something on this next turn. I don't want to, like, you know, cast a discard spell, just take a negate, and then he draws like a Search for Tomorrow and gets to play it. So I think I want to hold up mana leak. He can't negate me until turn 4 at the earliest. Like, say he draws another Secure Tri-Belter, and then he backs it up with mana leak. So on my next turn, I can play my 3rd land and then play a discard spell and still be able to hold up mana leak. So I think that's definitely better. We know he has a Valakut. He drew a Misty Rainforest. I think we know all the cards in his hand. Valakut, Negate, Lightning Bolt, Cryptic Command. Maybe one other we don't know. So get us a Watery Grave. And this can just fetch a basic island. We don't really need any more lands. Yeah, we're at 5. I think we just cast another Inquisition. The problem is if we cast Inquisition and then he mana leaks it, and then we cast our mana leak, we can't really take his Cryptic Command, and then like next turn we'll Duress and we don't have anything else, and then he can like Cryptic Command the Duress. So I think we actually want to lead with Duress here. That way we can take the Cryptic Command if he doesn't really have anything else to take. And the hope is that he negates it so we can leak it and then take another thing. That leaves him with a land, a Lightning Bolt, and one other card. If he drew a Dispel, that's pretty good for him. Yeah, he doesn't have his third blue, so we actually get to take his Cryptic Command if we want. But it might just be better to play Tasker this turn. We could Snapcast or Duress. Maybe we want to Inquisition the Lightning Bolt first. That way we keep our Snapcaster, leave him with one card. Leaving him with one card while we have like a Mutavault and a Tasker. I don't see how that's bad. He might just Lightning Bolt us here, and this is just a dead Inquisition, but it means he doesn't kill our Snapcaster. Play our Mutavault so we can attack next turn. Yeah, I don't really want to play Tassiger into him going... I know he has a forest, so he doesn't have another blue. I think I just want to get it out of his hand. If he finds a blue, he can like bounce the Tassiger and draw a card, which isn't the worst because I've got some extra mana and I can just replay it next turn, but... So he's casting Bring to Light for 3. I don't really think there's a lot of things that are bad for me. Yeah, it's just lands. So he has his 7 lands. So now we're just trying to dodge Scape Shift for a couple turns. I think we're fine. That's good. So let's do the math. We can put him to 14, and then he's dead in 2 turns because he can take 6 and then 8. Or we can hit him down to 10. It doesn't increase our clock. This Counter Squall is interesting though. If we hit him to 10 and then next turn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and if he casts a spell he's dead in 1 turn with the Counter Squall. No, we'd be hitting him to 12. I did my math wrong. We'd be hitting him to 12 next turn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't matter either way. So it's going to take 2 turns to kill him, so we might as well just play Tassiger. And possibly get a card back. We'll be exiling everything out of our graveyard. I think pretty much every spell in our deck is good for us. So Tasigur, there are many decks, you know, like Grixis Control, where you might end up getting like a Lightning Bolt or a Thought Scour that's just you spinning your tires when you're at this point. But I think every card in our deck counters a spell or like makes them discard a card or something after board. So Tasigur is a lot more powerful in this situation than you would normally expect. Like Spellstutter Sprite counters or a man. It was worth it. So yeah, we're gonna hit him for 6, and then next turn hit him for 8. I don't think there's any reason to play the Tar Pit pre-combat. Alright, and that's the match. So round 1, we won 2-0 against 4-color Scape Shift Bring to Light. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good matchup for us. He doesn't really do anything in the early stages of the game, which lets us set up, you know, use our discard spells to take apart his hand. And, you know, once we can just build up small board presence, we can just hit him to death, whether it's Vendilion Click or Tasigur or like a few 1/1s. We didn't draw Bitter Blossom in this matchup, but we didn't need it. Yep, I think this is not necessarily an easy matchup, but definitely a favorable matchup for us. So that was round 1. We will be back for round 2.